we are going to start with the study guide review, okay? This was not something that you had to do. This was for extra credit. It was due at 8 a.m. this morning. If you turn it in after, I'm not going to take it, okay? So let's start. This has to do a lot with the vocab that's going to be in your test tomorrow, all right? Vocab includes classroom items, all right? The list that I gave you that was typed out with addition to what we added to on the back, all right? And also vocab from your STAR notes, where it has to do with emotions, okay? Okay, or how you're doing. Let's do this really quick. We have to fill in the blank. Los alumnos, what does that mean? Okay, this is only going to work if we all participate. If you don't, okay, because if we don't participate, I'm just not going to go over it, and it's just you on your own, okay?
Yeah,
The students, something, mucho. What does mucho mean? A lot or very, okay. Son muy ambiciosos. You haven't had this word yet, but it means ambitious. Good. So looking at this and looking at the words that are given to us, what AR verb goes here? Estudian. Los alumnos estudian mucho. Okay. Ellos. Blank. Atención en clase. What does atención mean? Attention. What vocab word goes with this other word? It's a phrase in your vocab list. Yeah, I'm hearing it. Prestan. Prestan. Prestan means to pay, as in not money pay, but to pay attention, okay? Prestan. And notice how the endings for all these words are an. Why is that? All of these subjects or subject pronouns, all right, match the verb ending an. Okay. Ellos, they. What is mano? Hand. So just by looking at that and not even have to keep going with the rest of the sentence, what's the answer? Levantan, which means what? To raise. They raise, okay, the hand si tienen una pregunta. What does that mean? Tienen, if they have a question, okay? Tener means to have, okay? Los profesores. The professors. Blank, sus preguntas. What do the professors do? How do you say answer? Contestan. Okay. Los profesores. Blank. What else do the professors do? They teach. Enseñan. All right. Los alumnos. Blank. Español en la clase de español. Hablan. What does hablan mean? To speak. Ellos blank un examen. Toman. Toman. What does that mean? To take. What's another definition for toman? Tomar. To drink as well. All right. All right. Los muchachos blank una camisa y un pantalón. Llevan. What does that mean? To wear. It also means what? To take, right? In one of the listening assignments that we did, we were saying that they llevan food. They take food to the party, right? Llevan, to take. All right. Camisa means what?
Shirt.
And pantalón? All right. Everybody needs to participate. Okay, let me know if I'm going too fast. All right. So you still have to do the other, all of the activities from the study guide to receive the full 10 points. I'm not going to go over all of them. I am going to post the answers. But a lot of these had a variety of possible answers. All right? So I'm just going to focus on the ones that are the most accurate according to the test. Okay? All right. Let's look at this. It says, indicate if the statement makes sense or not. All right. Un alumno bueno, what does that say? Presta atención, pays attention. Cuando, this means when, el profesor habla. Would this be true or false? A good student pays attention when the professor speaks. Okay. Un alumno malo. Saca. Saca is an AR verb that you need to know. What does that mean? Sacar means to take out, all right? You take a grade out of a test, okay? That's how you need to think of it, what you make. All right, so un alumno malo saca notas altas. What does altas mean? It means tall, or in this case, high. High. So does a bad student make high grades? All right. Now, being a bad student, it doesn't necessarily mean the personality of the student. It means if you're a good student or a bad student. Are you studious or not studious, okay? All right. Los alumnos estudian. What does that say? The students study. Y la profesora enseña. And the teacher teaches. Is this true or false? All right. El alumno levanta la mano. What does that mean? Student raises his hand. Contesta. Cuando contesta una pregunta. When he is asking or she is asking a question. Is this true or false? Okay. It's cold. It was hot yesterday. All right. Una camisa y un pantalón. What is that? Shirt and pants son materiales escolares. Are these school supplies? Are shirt and pants school supplies? They're not school supplies. They could be a requirement as in a uniform, but are they school supplies? This would be no. Okay. Un bolígrafo. What is bolígrafo? Pen. What's another word for pen? That's pencil is actually an English word. Okay. Do we remember what? So it's another word for saying feather. Pluma. Yes, we did. It's in your vocab list. I added it. We went over it. All right. So, un bolígrafo, a pen. Un cuaderno. What is cuaderno? Notebook. Y los lápices, pencils, son materiales escolares. Is this true or false? All right, great. Next. Now, for this one, we need to fill in the blank. All right. With the appropriate word. Él levanta la mano. Levanta means to raise, right? Él levanta la mano when, tiene una pregunta. Has a question. How do you say question? Yeah, I know. Él levanta la mano cuando tiene una pregunta. Okay. Ellos prestan how do you spell it? What thing? Accent mark. Ellos prestan atención when su blank habla. You can say maestro, maestra, profesor, or profesora. I would take either for this question, okay? For here, I'm going to say maestra.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this have to be accurate when we turned it in to get the 10 points?
As long as I can tell that you tried, all right, and that you were in the ballpark.
Okay, good,
In the parking lot. All right, let's keep going. Number 3. Blank enseña y blank estudian.
El professor.
Okay, 1, because enseña has to match singular, right? El profesor enseña, teaches, y
The students.
you want to say these students? How do you say these students?
What?
Estudiantes, students, or you could have said los alumnos. There are 2 words for students. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. El profesor blank.
The.
What verb does this come from? What does it mean?
God.
To give. This means to give. El profesor da, because the ending has to match the professor, los exámenes y el alumno toma. You could have also put contesta, answers the test. I would have taken that too, but the correct one, the most accurate one would be toma, takes the test, okay? All right, una nota, blank, es una nota alta. So what's another description to say hi? Not high, but high, as in tall. So what do you think? Una nota blank is a high note or a grade. Buena. Una nota buena. A good grade is also a high grade. Una nota blank es una nota baja. Una nota mala, bad. Okay. All right. All right, for this one we had to choose where you would do or where these actions are being made. What is casa? House. What is escuela? What is tienda? Store. Okay. Compra una camisa nueva. What does compra mean? It's an AR verb. It means to buy. Compra una camisa nueva. What does that say? Buys a new shirt. Where would you do this?
I'm gonna guess to a store.
En la tienda. Spanish, please. Escucha al profesor. What does escucha mean? Listens to the
Teacher.
professor, teacher. Where would you do this? En la escuela.
Unless you're quarantined, and then you would do it at the house.
You're right. If you're quarantined, you would do this at the house. The times we live in, huh? All right. 3. Escucha su CD favorito. What does escucha mean?
Listen.
All right. Su. What is su?
It's a term where like is heard.
Here's what I'm looking for. Ready? Possessive. All right. All right. Escucha su CD favorito. Because we don't know who we're talking about. It could be he. It could be usted, or it could be she. All right, él, ella. All right, escucha su CD favorito. Where would you do this?
All three.
Technically, yes, all 3.
The house.
That's what I said.
I would say the house, but
The house.
who listens to CDs anymore?
Some it's nice.
I do have some CDs still, but
Play Malice very well.
so this one I would honestly take all. Because even when you listen to CDs, you could still have the portable CD player that you put in your backpack, and there was a special pocket for it.
I have a whole thing of Kids Bop CDs.
Kids Bop. All right. All right. Let's keep going. Paga en la.
March all 3.
No. I'm saying that technically they're all fitting. Okay. Paga en la caja. What does paga mean? To pay comes from the word pagar. Paga en la caja. What's caja? Cash register. Caja is like also another word for box. All right? Caja. Where would you do this? Tienda. All right. Envía. What does envía mean? To send. Notice that there's an accent mark on the I. Okay? Envía. Envía correos electrónicos. What is correos electrónicos?
Email.
Electronic mail, emails. All right, so where would you do this? And honestly,
I'm guessing home or school.
so this,
Home or school.
back in the day, you would do this in, well, you could do it in the school or in your house, the library, but honestly, that's what I'm saying. I said back in the day. Now I'm saying I would accept all the answers, okay? You can technically send emails wherever you're at because you have a handy dandy smartphone. Most of them, most people. All right. What does navegar la red mean?
Well, I'm picking my house and school.
So navegar means to navigate. La red is like saying the web, all right? To navigate the web, to surf the web. All right. This one, you could have chosen all of them. Yeah. All right. Pregunta. ¿Cuánto cuesta? Where would you ask that? ¿Cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuánto means what? ¿Cuánto? Think of the word quantity. ¿Cuánto? Means how much. Cuesta,
How much does it
to cost. How much does it cost? Where would you ask this? The store. Tienda.
Or school.
Okay. All right. Choose the correct word. Navega. What? La red. Tiene sus materiales escolares en su mochila. What does carpeta mean? Not carpet. Folder or binder. What is mochila? Backpack. La empleada. Empleada is a word for employee. Blank en la tienda. How do you say work? Trabaja. What does paga mean?
Wait, say it.
What word?
The T word.
Tra. Say it with me. Tra.
No, say it like all together.
Trabaja. You want to try it?
No.
Trabaja. All right. Ellos miran. What is miran? To look or to watch. Ellos miran un CD or un DVD.
DVD.
Can you please respond in Spanish? DVD. Remember back when we went over the ABCs and we had to pronounce the ABCs correctly? DVD. Okay. Él habla en su. What does habla mean? To talk or to speak. Él habla en su carpeta or móvil. What's another word for móvil in Spanish?
Telephone of.
Teléfono is phone or celular. Celular. This one is one of the most common words to call a cell phone. Okay. Next, we're going to put these sentences in order. All right. So this has to do it has to do with somebody going to a store, buying something, and the process of it. So what would go first?
B.
What does B say? Ella necesita materiales escolares. She needs school materials. All right. What would go next?
D.
What is D?
In Spanish or like in English?
Ella va a la tienda in English. She goes to the store. Okay, and then
A.
A. What does it say?
She buys a binder.
She buys a binder or a folder. Is that, or I'm sorry, this isn't buy, this is busca. What does busca mean? The word is buscar. To look for. If you don't note this, this is part of your notes that we did. So this is to look for. All right, to look for. All right, so she's looking for a folder or a binder. And then
C.
C, what does that say? What does mira mean? Watches or sees? Varias, various.
Of binders.
Various.
or folders.
Yep. And then?
E.
What does that say? She goes. Va comes from the verb ir, which is an irregular verb, all right? It's an irregular verb, all right? It means to go. To go, all right? Caja, cash register. And then?
G.
She paid.
She pays. No, that's not. Yeah, I know what I mean. G. Whatever you got.
I would say G, she pays, and then F, she bought a
Binder.
binder or a folder. Okay. All right. Choose the correct verb form. So here's where we're going to look at the what? To choose the correct one. What are we going to look at?
The ending.
The endings.
The endings, and they have to match the subject or subject pronoun, all right? So for these types, you don't really need to look at the ending of the sentence for the most part. You just need to look at the beginning. So what would go with él? Él estudia. Yo hablo. Nosotros miramos. La profesora enseña. Tú trabajas. Now, cuánto means what? How many or how much? Ustedes you need to look at. So it would be ustedes pagan. Yo envío to send. Ellas navegan la red. All right. Here we just have to add the ending. Yo hablo. Tú miras. Usted regresa. Él enseña. Ella trabaja. Nosotros contestamos. Ustedes escuchan. Ellos toman. Ellas Which one?
How do you, that's how you pronounce it.
Which one?
Like,
Amos?
no, the A-N.
An.
On.
An.
And. No, on.
An. Because the letter A is not E. An. Ellos toman. Ellas estudian. Okay. All right, here we need to just conjugate the verb. We don't need to look at anything else other than the subject or subject pronoun. Nosotros. I heard all but the correct. Hablamos. Yo levanto la mano. La profesora contesta. So how come it's not contesto?
Because we changed.
It is, what's it called? Formal. Right? That's right. The professor.
Because the reason why is because we first were talking about ourselves and then it switches to profesora. So now we're talking about her. Okay, yo presto. Okay. And atención, cuando la profesora, so now we're matching it to profesora. Habla, H is silent. Habla, we don't pronounce the H. Okay. Tú tomas. Yo
Wait, we're on.
navego.
Yeah.
Ellos hablan. Ustedes no llevan. Nosotros, what is it? Llevamos.
What?
Nosotros, amos at the end. Okay?
Oh, snap.
And then, ¿en qué tienda? We are looking at the word tú. What? Has. Okay. Any questions? Are you guys doing okay with the endings?
Those were easy.
Okay.
I just can't pronounce them. I'm really
As long as you're trying. All right. This one's the same. We're done with this, with the study guide. I'm going to. Okay. Any questions about the study guide?
No, it's pretty easy. The back would confuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we are going to review tumba. We're going to talk just really quick about tumba. If I was you, I would take notes on this.
That's right. I can tell you everything that happened from 1 to 4 right now.
All right. Here are quick notes about the tumba questions that are going to be on your test. The test questions will be in Spanish.
Okay, so if we can do the boom cards, we can do
If you can do the boom cards, you can do it.
Oh, okay.
Then here we go.
They may be mixed in with the rest of the test, so they may not all come all at once. They're going to be shuffled. I will definitely make a note that the question is in reference to the book Tumba. Okay? And then you may use any of your notes or summaries that you have created. All right. So, capítulo 1, chapter 1. True or false? False. Cierto o falso. A Alex le gusta el Día de los Muertos.
Wait.
False. What does this question say? Does Alex like the Day of the Dead? This would be false. ¿Quién comunica con los espíritus? What does quién mean? ¿Quién? Who communicates with the spirits? Grandma. What's grandma's name? Rosario.
Wait.
¿De dónde es Alex? ¿De dónde es Alex? What does de dónde mean? From where? From where is Alex? Where is he from? He is from Mexico. Where specifically? I'm looking for the town of the name. The name of the town. All right. You ready? It starts with an M. Well, it's city of something. Ciudad de Mante. Ciudad de Mante. That's the city. Now, I also, whenever we took notes, we talked about the name of the town. Remember, I showed you the map. And then, obviously, I also showed you the state. Okay. ¿Cierto o falso? Alex tiene que llevar uniforme a la escuela. What is this question asking?
Does he wear a uniform?
Does he have to wear a uniform to the school? Is this true or false? True. En la escuela hay dos grupos de estudiantes. ¿En cuál grupo es Alex? How do you say morning in Spanish?
Wait,
So,
what does that say? It says,
hay dos grupos de estudiantes. Two groups of students.
oh, okay.
En cuál means which. In which group is he?
The morning group.
How do you say morning in Spanish? Mañana. All right, but it's primer grupo. So, primer grupo means what?
Primary group first.
Primero means first. Primero means first. That's one of your vocab. We went over the numbers, all right, like that. Primero, segundo, tercero, right? Primero means first. All right. ¿Quién es David? ¿Cómo es? Who is David? And what is he like? Do you guys remember? How do you say sport, that he likes sports? Deportivo. What else? Where are your notes that you took? So he likes sports. So he is his best friend. And he is deportista, paciente, y simpático. ¿Cuál es la clase favorita de Alex? ¿Y de David? How do you say math?
Mathematics.
And how do you say art? Arte. Okay. All right. Chapter 2. Al comienzo del capítulo. What does comienzo mean? Commence, begin. All right. ¿A dónde va Alex y David?
We're at Alex and David.
Where are they going to? ¿A dónde? To where? La casa de Alex. ¿Qué ven en la plaza? What does ven mean? is to look or to watch. All right. What do they see in the plaza? And quién? What does quién mean? Who? Who do they see? Sergio. Okay, so here, all right, they are seeing, all right, papel picado, decorations, decoraciones del Día de los Muertos, papel picado, flores anaranjadas y amarillas, figuras de esqueletos, figurines, skeletons, figurines, calaveras de dulce, sugar, skulls, all right, and then they also see Sergio. This is coming straight from the book. You have these answers. So if you write the questions at least, you can go back to the book and these are coming straight from it. Just word by word. Okay. Según Sergio, según is like saying, according to Sergio, el arte es para girls. How do you say girls? Chicas. Las chicas. ¿Qué es una calavera literaria? What is a calavera literaria? What does the word literaria look like in English? Literature. So what am I talking about? Poems, poemas. ¿Son serios o cómicos? Are the poems serios or cómicos? Cómicos. Funny. All right. So a calavera, just to be a little bit more specific, it is a poem that describes death, all right, a death of a person, and they are funny, all right? It is a light-hearted poem most of the time. All right. Describe la calavera de Alex. So describe the calavera, and by saying the Alexes, it was not Alex who wrote it, but it was about Alex, right? So what was it? Grandma was a witch, transforms into a cat, talks to a girl, a ghost that's a girl who is explosive, and then the ghost attacks and kills at Alex. Yeah.
Are these answers, are we going to do them more multiple choice or is it?
Yeah. A lot of them are fill in the blank, but they have, you'll see that they have a word bank. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This review is just pointing out, we're just talking about what happened, like the main events that happened in the chapter. Okay?
Is that what the Testament like for some events?
For the most part. All right. Chapter 3. Cuando Alex entró en la casa, what does that mean? What does entró mean?
When entered
When Alex has entered where? The house. ¿Qué hace tu abuela y tu mamá? What is the grandma and the mom doing?
decorating the altar.
So, preparing the altar, okay? Decorate or preparing. Okay. ¿De quién es la foto? ¿Quién means what? ¿De quién es la foto? If you're on your phone right now, you need to put it away. If you have earbuds on, you need to put them away. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this completely, and you're on your own. Everybody should be taking notes manually or on a computer. All right, as soon as everybody takes their phone and puts them up, I will continue. All right. So, ¿quién means who? Who is the photo of?
The grandfather.
The grandfather. What's his name? Felix. Felix, with an accent mark above the E. All right. ¿Qué objeto está en la ofrenda? What object is in the ofrenda, which means offering?
The guitar.
Una guitarra. ¿Cómo se llama la abuela de Alex? We already said that. What's her name? And what about the mom's name? Blanca. All right. ¿Qué les gusta hacer a la abuela y la mamá? So we're talking about what do they like to do, both of them. What did they both have something in common that they like to do? Watch what? Telenovelas. Telenovelas. Okay. ¿Qué pasó con el gato? What does that mean? Pasó. What happened to the cat? What happened? Yeah. So, the grandmother was talking to a spirit, a cruel spirit, and the spirit controlled the cat, who then attacked Alex. This was the accident that happened, right? Did David know about the accident? No. Okay. Chapter 4. ¿Cuál es la fecha al inicio del capítulo? What does fecha mean? Okay. Fecha means date. ¿Cuál es la fecha al inicio? Inicio means like initial, the beginning of the capítulo, chapter. What was the date of at the beginning of it? Was it the second or the first?
When they went to Psalm 2?
On chapter 4?
Yeah, it was the second day. No, chapter 5 is the second.
Chapter 4 was, we're still, it's the first.
It's the first.
Yeah, chapter 5 is the second. Okay. ¿Qué preparan la mamá y la abuela? Tamales. ¿Qué tipos de comida hay en el altar? Tipos, types. Comida means food. Comida, food. Hay. What type of food or what type of food do you see in the altar? Huh? Tortillas, remember? Frutas, agua de limón, fresh water, right? Of lemon, and tamales. Okay, wake up. Up. Somebody is sleeping. The other friend needs to just tap their shoulder or something. All right. ¿Qué hay en el libro de Félix? What does libro mean? What does libro mean? Book. What's in the book?
Caves, the
Diagrams of the cave. All right. Según la abuela, according to the grandmother, ¿qué hay en la cueva? Dinero. Money. All right. And then, ¿qué defiende la cueva? ¿Qué defiende? Defiende means to defend. Un espíritu cruel. It's a cruel spirit. All right. All right. All right. Finally, we are going to go over the practice test, and then we're done. How did you guys do? Okay, let's go through this. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, okay? All right, all of these have to do with vocab. So, first one, it says, yo uso esta cosa, cosa means thing, cuando necesito borrar, erase, un error, error. What did you choose? Borrador. Borrador means eraser. Okay, cuando necesito saber qué hora es, what does necesito mean? To need, saber, to know. When I need to know qué hora, what time or what hour, uso esta cosa. I use this thing. What do you use? How do you say clock? Reloj. Reloj. All right. Uso esta cosa en la clase de geografía. What class? Geography. Es un papel grande donde están todos los países, countries, del mundo. Mundo means world. So what is this? It's a big paper that you use in geography class where you see all of the countries in the world. Mapa, map. Yo la uso para entrar y salir la clase. I use this to enter and leave the class. How do you say door? Puerta. Yo lo uso para la clase de matemáticas. I use this for math class. Calculator, calculadora. Es blanco y tiene muchas líneas. It's white and it has a lot of lines. Yo lo uso para escribir. I use it to write. Papel. To write on. Es donde me siento en la clase. Sentar means to sit. It is where I sit in class. How do you say desk? There's two words for it. Pupitre. What's another word for it? Escritorio. Como, I eat. Mi almuerzo aquí. Cafetería, F. Yo lo uso para escribir. Es amarillo y tiene borrador rosado. I use it to write. It's yellow and it has a rosado. Rosa means pink. Eraser. Lápiz. Yo camino aquí para llegar a mi próxima clase. I walk here to go to my next class. Pasillo. Pasillo. Hall. Es donde yo practico el básquetbol. Gimnasio. Gymnasium. Es un lugar en la escuela. Hay espejos y lavabos. Espejo is what? What's espejo? Think back on when we talk about the house. Espejo means you see your reflection in it. Mirror. Lavabo. Or lavamanos. What is lavamanos? Sink. Sink. All right. So what is this? Baño. And then hay muchos libros y computadoras aquí. There's a lot of books and computers here. Biblioteca. B. Library. Okay. All right. Los alumnos buenos sacan notas malas. True or false? What does it say? Good students get bad grades. This is false. Okay. Los alumnos llevan sus materiales escolares en una hoja de papel. What does it say? Students carry their school supplies on a sheet of paper. Is this true or false? Falso. En Latinoamérica, en Latin America y España, un colegio es una universidad como aquí en Estados Unidos. What is it saying? This information is coming from one of your readings that you did. In Latin America and in Spain, un colegio is a university like here. Is this true or false? This is false. What is un colegio? It's like, colegio is like a high school, all right? All right. Here you just have to put the correct verb, all right? I'm just going to go through these and tell me what they mean. What does enseña mean? To teach.
Can you not resume it?
What?
You can
The test?
practice test.
I can't remember. Okay. What does regresan mean? To go back. Levanta, to raise. Toma, to take. Trabaja, to work. Envían, send. Escucha, to listen. Saca, to take. Necesitan, to need. Presta, to pay attention. Okay. Lleva, okay, to take or to wear. This one would be to wear. Contesta, answer, and then da, to give. Okay. So, number 1, el alumno presta. La profesora enseña. La alumna, what? levanta la mano. El profesor contesta. Answers the question. El profesor da el examen, gives the exam. Los alumnos toman el examen, take the test. El muchacho lleva, wears a uniform to school. La muchacha, blank, notas buenas en la clase, en la escuela. Saca, all right. Después de las clases, los alumnos regresan, return home. Van a la tienda porque blank materiales escolares. Necesitan. They need school materials. La empleada, the employee, trabaja, works, en la tienda. Ellos, blank, correos electrónicos. Envían. Okay, and then we have ella, blank, música. Escucha música. Listens to music. Okay. Is that it? Okay, one more down here. Okay, true or false? La mayoría de los jóvenes trabajan en una tienda o en un restaurante. What is this saying? The majority of the jóvenes means young. Jóvenes, young people, work in a store or a restaurant. Is this true or false? True. Okay. All right. La alumna. Blank el internet. So you need to look at alumna and what's the ending? Navega. La alumna. She navega. All right. Look at the endings. Okay. Gabi. Which one? I heard two. Está. The ending is A. Okay. Questions about that? Okay. All right. What does this question say? ¿De qué hablan los amigos? What is that saying? ¿De qué hablan los amigos? What is de? Of qué? What? Hablan? Talk? Los amigos. What does los amigos mean? Friends. Of what are they talking? What are they talking about? All right. So which one would be the answer to this question? Hablan. A-N to match. We're talking about the friends. All right. Los hermanos blank en sus cuartos de dormir. We're talking about los hermanos. This is not a question. So we're talking about los hermanos. What would the answer be? Estudian. Okay. A-N match. Los hermanos. Okay. En Perú, muchos alumnos no van. In Peru, a lot of students don't go. Where? Mixta. This comes from one of your readings. They don't go to a mixed school, which means that there's a girls' school and a boys' school. All right? So, all right. Una academia is what? It is not a university. Okay? Academia. Usually you have to pay for this. It's not a public school. All right. ¿Qué compras en la tienda? What do you buy in the store? What do you buy in the store? School supplies.
Money.
You don't buy money. You buy with money. All right.
But how did the first person get money?
You don't buy it, though. You can't buy money. All right, you can exchange money. You can exchange money. You can take money out from your bank.
No, you can buy money. People sell money on like eBay.
Okay.
Buy money.
All right. Los alumnos blank una nota buena en español. Let's look at the alumnos. What would this be? The students. What? What does compran mean? To buy, dan. To give, llevan. To wear, sacan. Okay. They take a good grade, all right? ¿Por qué navega la red, Jorge? What is this asking? What does por qué mean? Why navega la red, Jorge? Why does he surf the web? He is surfing the web to look for information, okay? Buscar, to look for. All right. Ana blank porque su casa está lejos. What does lejos mean? Far. All right. So what is this question asking? Or what is the statement saying? What does por qué mean? Because her house is far away. So what would the answer be? Which one? Third. If it's far away, you need to take a bus. A pie means by foot. If it's far, you can't go by foot. I mean, you could, but normally you would take a bus. All right. La profesora, look at the ending. Habla. All right. ¿Cuántos cursos tomas? What question is that asking? What is cursos? Courses, as in classes. ¿Cuántos means how many? Tomas, how many courses do you take? What would the answer be? Why tomo? You're responding to the question. This is a ¿cuántos cursos tomas? Yes, they're asking you. All right, they're asking you, so you have to answer in first person. All right, true or false? 3 forms of estar have accent marks. False. How many have accent marks? 4. Which 2 do not have accent marks? Which forms? Yo and nosotros. All right? Those do not have accent marks. Okay, we're almost done. Yo nunca blank en la clase de arte. Yo nunca What did you guys say? Estoy. Okay, I heard estudio. Tú siempre estás. Carlos está. Cristina y yo estamos. Vosotros estáis. Where does the accent mark go? Los lápices están. All right. I'm so glad everybody's paying attention. All right. Los chicos están un poco preocupados. Okay, because we're talking about los chicos. This is a descriptive adjective. We're describing how they're being. All right. All right. Which word is misspelled? Estás. What's wrong with it? There's no accent mark on it. All right.
I don't notice that little thing.
All right. What does al lado mean? Al lado means to the side of. Y. Delante de means in front of. Which number is that? Oh, it's detrás de. Behind. Encima de. On top of. Debajo de. Debajo de. Below or underneath. Dentro de. Dentro. Inside. Entre. Between. Cerca de. Close to. Lejos de. Far from. And in. In, on, or at, depending on the sentence. Okay. Let's put this word together. What comes first? How do you know that? What comes last? Pizarra. How do you know that? Pizarra is board. Okay? All right, so now that we've gone these out of the way, what comes next? How do you know that? That's the verb. Tú estás. Cerca means what? Close. De la. You are close to the board. Okay. All right, so let's use the word bank to fill the blanks. So we have los baños están. Yo estoy lejos de la. La mochila está encima del. Why del? Why not de él? What did I say about that? Remember, they squished them together so that the E's are not repetitive, okay? Pablo y yo estamos. Vosotras estáis muy. What does that mean? Not emotional. Excited. Emotional has a sad tone to it. Emocionados in Spanish means excited. It's positive. All right. All right, so who sits behind the narrator? So the narrator is yo, right? Yo estoy en la clase de español con mis amigos. I am in Spanish class with my friends. Carlos está al lado de mí. Carlos is, al lado means what? Next to or besides. Okay, hay unos cuadernos dentro de la mochila. There are some notebooks inside of whose backpack? Carlos's backpack. Fernanda está delante de mí. What does delante mean? In front of, so that's not it. Fernanda está cerca de la pizarra. Cerca, close to the board. El escritorio de Carolina está detrás de mí. So who's detrás means behind. So who is behind the narrator? What is in Carlos's backpack? Notebooks. Who sits in front of the narrator? Who is standing by the door? Oh, I haven't read that far yet, sorry. Fernanda está cerca de la pizarra. El escritorio de Carolina está detrás de mí. Okay. Hay muchos libros debajo del escritorio de Carolina. There are a lot of books under, debajo, Carolina's desk. The teacher, el maestro, señor Ríos, está cerca de la puerta. Near, cerca. So who's standing by the door? Señor Ríos. Which class are all these people in? And I know that I wrote these answers in Spanish. You just choose the English ones, okay? Okay. All right. When you conjugate a normal verb in the present tense, you have to drop the infinitive ending before you add a new one. True or false? Cierto. What do you do if there's two AR verbs next to each other? You conjugate the one that's closest to the subject, and you leave the other one as an infinitive, or just leave it as an AR verb, okay? All right, let's match these. Yo nunca estudio. Tú siempre Just matching the endings to the subject. Lucas habla. Paula y yo caminamos. Ustedes no what? Okay. Los estudiantes pasan. All right. Which complete these correctly? Que? With an accent mark, you said, right? Okay.
That's what we said.
I just heard que and then nobody said with an accent mark. There's 3 ques in here. What does como mean? All right. Quick note. Whenever there's a question, the question always has an accent mark. Whenever it's an answer, it's without an accent mark. Okay? All right. Which verb above would not use the AR ending? Hacer. This is an ER ending. Okay. Match the phrase. All right. Yo escucho. What does that mean? I listen. Yo hablo. I talk. Ella no estudia. She doesn't study. Ella estudia. She studies. Nosotros necesitamos hablar. We need to talk. Nosotros hablamos. We talk. Where is that one at? F. Ellos practican. They practice. And ustedes practican. Y'all practice. Okay. Put this in order. What comes first? Nosotros. What comes next? No. Why does not come next? The negation always goes before. Nosotros no enseñamos las clases de arte. Okay. All right. Los what? Los maestros enseñan las clases. I'm just trying to go through these quickly. All right. Yo blank listened in class. So who would that be? Okay. Necesito. I need to listen more in class. Pedro toca to play. Lola y yo. No. Miramos. We don't watch TV. And then the question. Okay. And remember, when it's a question, it always has an accent mark. Okay. I want you guys to take a look at these. All right. You're going to see something similar like this on the test, where you have a part from the book and you have words on the very bottom where you get to choose from. You're going to fill in the blank, okay? You should be able to do well if you know what's going on in the book. Does that make sense? There are 4 of these, 1 per chapter. All right? So there are 4, 1 per chapter. You're just going to look at the sentence and fill in the blank. So I'm just going to do the first one. So, a David le gustan las. To David likes the what? What does he like? Here are your options. And the next thing it says, especially las máscaras de esqueletos. Especially the what? Skeleton masks. So, knowing that phrase, decorations, okay? David y Alex observan las blank con mucha atención. What does that say? What do you think they're observing? Decorations again. There are 2. You see how there's 2? You're going to use each of these once. All right? So they use 2 decoration. They also, you're going to use decorations twice. All right. Blank, muy contentos porque les gusta ver las decoraciones. What do you think it would go there? So, muy contentos porque les gusta ver las decoraciones. What does that say? Muy contentos. Contentos is a verb. What does that mean? Happy. They are very happy. How would you say they are very happy? What's the verb to be? That's to be as in you are something, but if they're happy, that means it's an emotion. It is estar, and how would you conjugate that talking about both David and Alex? Están. Okay, here it is. Okay. Is there any questions about how to do this on the test tomorrow? They're coming straight from your chapters. Straight from your chapters. 1 per chapter. Any questions? Anything else that you need me to go over? We good? Okay.